Welcome, beautiful family, to yet another episode of YOLKING Around. I am Derek Mayo, and today is going to be a beautiful podcast because it's going to be a lot different than what we are used to. Normally, we talk about pop culture, hot news, and life reflections. But what's going to make this podcast more interesting is that it's going to be an interview. With me, I have EQ with La Familia Music Group and Skilly WAVEZ, baby.
Oh yeah.
Believe it
Live
or not,
and direct.
believe it or not, this is our third time trying to record this intro.
Hey, but
Let's
they say
go.
third's a charm.
Third is actually
Is that what
it's,
they say?
Is it?
no,
Yeah.
it was more like 7. So if we burned through a lot of this, I apologize to you guys for having that rookie mistake happen here. But it's all fun and games until somebody fucks up. You know, that's what they say.
right.
A little background about EQ: he has been in the podcast before, and he's actually a music producer, CEO of La Familia Music Group in Montrose, Colorado, and he's doing a lot of dope stuff on the West Slope. He also has a podcast, so go follow that if you guys haven't. And then with me, of course, Skilly WAVEZ.
Yes, sir.
You guys have been collaborating recently, and EQ hit me up, said, "Hey, I have this guy that I want you to put on," and I connected with you and was very thrilled. So I want to just thank you for that again.
Yeah,
And,
thank you, man.
and thank you for thinking about the show and thinking about the content that we can relay to people, especially in Colorado, and also just bringing about to people's eyes the new artists that are coming up here in the slopes, or here in the mountains, I would say. But very thrilled to be with you guys today, and we're just going to get right into it. Skilly WAVEZ, tell us a little bit about your name, how it came about. I know that you already gave me a version, but
No, you're good.
if you just want to give us a little more context so that we are able to understand who you are as a musician, as a person, as an artist.
Definitely. Yeah. So I'm a fellow contributor of the Good Vibes. I'm
That's
here
right.
from Idaho.
Only vibes.
Only vibes.
Only vibes.
Just to be correct and on point. And we're gonna run it back now. We're gonna get hit. I'll give you the remix now.
Yeah.
So.
Remix.
Yeah, no, so it's pretty much just at a young age, I always kind of had a knack of like picking things up like quick or like fast and stuff. And the most often comment that I would get would people be like, "Oh, you're naturally skilled at whatever you're trying to do." So so like for me, the moniker was always just skills. You know what I mean? It wasn't necessarily anything extra. It was just skills. And then I want to say, like I mentioned earlier, it was around the time that like Lil Wayne was really like hitting, and like I said, just having that little, like the illy or the whatever into the nicknames, because he kind of had that going. So for whatever reason, Skilly was always the most referenced thing. Like anybody that's a homie or anything, they would throw that at me.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to have a friend who would say wave all the time. It was just part of his like get down, his whole little sauce,
Part of his lexicon.
Yeah,
to
there you
say
go.
that.
His ebonics. So he well, I remember one day we did a track, and I did like a full just run through that. I just one taked it, like clean, seamless little take, and I came out feeling real good. And he was like, "Skilly motherfucking WAVEZ," and I was just like, man. But like the way he said it was just like, yeah, that's it right there, bro. Like I guess in my head, not to be corny, but like maybe I had a little epiphany or something, and I was like, that's it. Like that's just got to be it. Whatever the hell it is I do afterwards, it's got to be with that right there. And whatever I just did in the booth, like I got to keep doing that every time. So that's pretty much that's kind of what how it was, and it just stuck. After the years or the time with it, I really just kind of fell in love with it more, because I'm the only artist that pops up under that name. Hey, how do you what kind of socials do you have? What are you on? I'm like, whatever you want to find me on, just you could find me on whatever. You can Google
It
me.
was actually really easy to find you.
Yeah, see, and then and what I take pride in after all this time.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, it's actually funny that you said it, because this is probably one of the first times it's happened that I really do enjoy the fact that you said you dove back into my catalog.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that I really take pride in is that for as long as I've been doing music, just like you mentioned too, you felt like everything got better or gradually got more quality, or there was quality the whole time.
Yeah.
I personally take that deeply, like a gracias for real, because I know the time I spent to get better at what I do. So when the thing that I take pride in is that I do have as an artist, I give you that option to become a new supporter or fan or listener of me, because I give you enough of an arrangement to go back and backtrack. You might not like everything I got, but you're gonna probably, I know for a fact you'll like 3 or 4 things in there, and 3 or 4 things is all I need you to like, because they're gonna grow on you, and you're gonna double back to everything else and be like, I'll give it a shot. And then by the time you're really like in my catalog, you just fuck with the whole thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I appreciate that, and like I said, it makes me feel proud because it actually it's happening now. Like now that I'm out of Idaho and doing my thing, that's the most common thing I hear now. Like, hey, I went back and checked out your stuff, and a lot of people do exactly what you just did. They'll give me a specific song that popped up, and they're like, hey, after that I looked for before and after, and everything I heard was fucking fire. So yeah, and I'm like, you know what I mean, thank you, because that's me as a creator, that's all I could shoot for. I really don't care at this point. For me, at this point, I don't really care for the money part too much no more. I want the connection with people. You know what I mean?
Amen.
Amen.
I mean? Yeah. That connection is very important, especially with your craftsmanship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the way you build a song, the way you build an album. You know, who do you have in your mind whenever you're writing? It could be a shawty, it could be somebody, a good friend. You know, or just the essence of the culture or the people around you that you want to capture and have that song relate to them and have them connect with it as well. I wanted to ask you something. I know you started very young. You said you started at the age of 15. Was music something that you always just kind of inclined to,
bro.
or how did that connection become? How did it start stealing your attention? I would say, to start making it.
If I can be real honest with you, bro, I never had anybody in my family that did music. I didn't have like none of that typical like, hey, somebody that I knew did music. I didn't nothing. Like I think the first time that I heard rap music, I just thought it was cool because I was like, what the hell is this? This is cool. You know what I mean? This is at, I don't know, maybe like 10 years old or something, like a young age. I feel like most of us, when we realized what MTV was or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's when I kind of was just like, oh, what is this? And then the first time I ever heard like Big Pun, Chino XL, like a couple
Chino XL,
Latin cats, to me, I was like, oh, you look like me, kind of. You know what I mean? I was like, you're not.
You find that representation,
through, you know what I mean?
Through the music and the screen.
And I honestly, I want to say now that now that I'm more mature and can re-scrutinize that part of my life, I think what I really took out of it, bro, is because I was never. I never banged. I never like got into too much extra stuff, thankfully, because of music. Because when I got into the music, I just got obsessed with trying to figure it out. To me, it was cool, bro, because I could write a song and I could be as cool as I wanted to be in the song. And I wasn't necessarily the cool kid ever. I was always like never down enough, never fucking Mexican enough, never skater enough with the white homies when I was kicking it with the white homies. Yeah. Like I was just never enough of something for something or wherever I was trying to fit in. But when it came to music, I do whatever the hell I wanted to do, and it was at my leisure, hey, this is what I want to do, this is what I think is cool. You could because like I said, you could go draw a line and be proud as fuck about the line that you drew. I can't tell you no different because you took big pride in that.
Yeah.
And that's all it should take for something really that means something to you. Only your justification should matter for that. You know what I mean? So like I said,
Amen,
I can sit here and be like, your line's a little crooked, but my outside input should not matter at all. You know what I mean? But for me, the not cool kid could be cool when I had my headphones on and I was writing fucking, and this was like 50 Cent and like G Unit era and like, you know what I mean?
I wanted to ask you about that. Like what I know that you just mentioned some Chino XL, G Unit, 50 Cent, and you also mentioned Lil Wayne.
Right.
Was that sort of your inspiration, or were those artists that you grew up with?
For me, yeah, because I'm like a 90s kid, so I grew up in like a lot of that, like the early 2000 stuff. Like that was like when
hip hop was hip hop,
when it was fun.
Right.
When it was fun. Right now that you said that, for me it was like when hip hop was actually hip hop. Nothing was the same. Because back in the day, it wasn't cool to sound like the other homie from the other block, or when Bone Thugs came out, and a lot of people tried to.
I used to bop to Bone Thugs for sure.
But everything was different, right? And then you have like Ludacris. And it's like a South, but it's different. But you know what I mean? And then you got like a Busta Rhymes. It's in the same pocket of stuff, but it's New York. It's gritty. But none of it was the same. Now it's like, I want to say after the Migos, that's where music, to me, in my opinion, that's where music took the shift of kind of being diluted.
Why do you think that is?
Because it was easy. it's microwave music, bro. It's easy to make. Dog. It's like it's like
now you have
Yeah.
AI making music.
now you have AI that can put it together for you.
Would
so
you ever do an AI collaboration?
I think I would. I'm not
yeah.
against it, bro. Well, here's my thing for me, bro. It's like I wouldn't be where I'm at or get to where I have gotten to if I was against change. When I hit that point in my life where I understood that change is a good thing,
Yes.
whether it comes in a good process or not, the change, if you're willing to bear the process, 10 times out of 10, it really is, you know what I mean, worth waiting it out and sticking it out and then being able to like really talk your shit like, hey, this is rock solid. You can't knock this
Yeah.
over. You know what I mean?
And it's hard to see that sometimes as a person, just in general, just being able to see ahead and be patient. You know, that's something that we all struggle with a lot of the times, where we want to see immediate results when we know that's not how it works. Things that are worth a damn, that's not how they work. You have to, you know, reap it and then sow it, and then it'll eventually get to a reaping season where you'll enjoy the fruits of that. But yeah, that's a concept that a lot of people struggle with, just especially with things that are worth something.
Yeah.
That it takes time. It's craftsmanship, and like I mentioned, I listened to not everything, but most of your repertoire and everything that you've came up with on Spotify. I think the earliest song was like a 2016 song, really good. And from there on, you have a conglomerate of singles, enough to make an album in itself, maybe two. And then you also have two other albums that are more recent, which is
Ratchet Pack.
Ratchet Pack.
Yeah,
and
shout out my
then-
boy AC Delgado. That's my right hand producer man on that right there.
And then the other one was I Found an Extra Blunt. Right?
Yeah, I actually did that during COVID.
I fucking love that album.
Yeah,
by the
so
way.
if I
listened
can
to it.
share this with you, I did that during COVID. I didn't write anything on that album. That's all. I was sitting at the computer because I had all day. I wasn't working. I got laid off or not laid off, but I was on an off season. So
Right,
I was
yeah.
getting a check and just hanging out at the house. And I'm like, what? And I had my studio at the house. I had time to dabble with some mushrooms and stuff like that, and that kind of gave me a little different, like
an inspirational aspect
well,
to
because
it.
we're in the house, we're in quarantine.
Yeah.
So I don't know about how you guys spent your time.
That's
but
actually when I started smoking more weed. Actually,
we had a lot of time, at least
Yeah.
over there. We had a lot of time on our hands. So for me, I was like, I don't want to be like the homies that are like, oh, I'm just chilling. I'm like, I'm just chilling. I got a whole ass studio in my house. I better go chill in the studio and get some shit done, right? I was watching a documentary on Nipsey Hussle, and he was explaining how he used to have to record himself because he didn't have anybody to engineer for him. And then it was funny because as an artist, that I've always liked his style of how he approaches a beat. Because to me, I always call it like a setup. Like if you're playing basketball, to me it feels like he goes like this, and then he hits it, and he comes and does it again, but same repetition.
Okay, like the pattern within the music.
Cadence. So it's like,
Cadence,
and so I was like, I wonder if he does that on purpose or if, you know, whatever. Because I know when I write, I'll catch pockets and I'll cater to those little pockets of the beat. But when I watched the interview and he was explaining how he recorded, I didn't have to hear anything else. I was like, oh, you're running to the mic and punching, and then you're trying to catch the breath. So that's why you take that little da-da-da, da-da-da-da. I was like, that makes sense now, because you're just doing punch-ins. And then at some point he explains it, and he was like, yeah, bro, sometimes I don't write nothing. I'll just go in there and just kind of punch stuff in, and my engineer will just cut it together. Now that I'm at the point where I got an engineer that's solid with me. So I was like, that's kind of cool. And then Tory Lanez around that time started broadcasting his studio sessions, like actually showing you what he does. And he did exactly what I would do, just kind of run through a beat sometimes and like murmur noises or just like no actual
to
audible
find
nothing.
the flow of it all. I always wonder about that with artists. Like, how do they find different flow? And honestly, you have a lot of skills.
Yeah.
Pun intended. Pun intended.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I just wanted to say, just to rephrase back to your name and understanding. Somebody that is able to attain a lot of skills is somebody that has a pretty good intelligence,
right?
Because not everybody can pick something up. Like, how many times have you been in a situation where you're with a coworker or even yourself, where somebody's trying to explain something to you and you just don't get it? I guess if you're Skilly, that's not the case, but
right.
But if you're somebody mortal like myself, I obviously, you know, I've gone to those situations where I'm like, I don't fucking get it, dude.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that that's also a cool part of your name.
Yeah, thank
just
you.
to throw that in there. But I wanted to come back to the music aspect. I know that music can evoke a lot of emotions, and even you, EQ, if you want to pop in here, what is something that you are trying to start provoking or inspiring with your music to other people?
I have that down to the T, bro. I just make motivational background music for hustlers out there that hustle in any kind of facet of life. That don't mean anything literal. That means like if you're trying to get your degree and you're really about your schooling and you're going and applying yourself every day. If you're chasing a career and you're busting your ass every day and getting there and doing your internships and be there before the boss or before the big wig guy, or you're up early in the morning, like I represent el que se para con ganas. You know what I mean? That's what I represent. That's why I make music for people like that, for motivation, just for background purposes, to just, you know, when you're getting money, when you're working out, when you're in a good vibe, when you just got paid, and that's that one song you gotta go throw on Moonwalking because it's out on all platforms right now.
Right.
Go check out Moonwalking. Great plug.
Check it out.
Yeah, but stuff like that, bro. Because to me, like I said, I remember all the times that music got me through like the tough times of my life, where music just made everything okay, where music put a band-aid on the rough shit. You know what I mean? So for me, I always like to capture that the best I can. And at one point too, I had people like, "Oh, so you probably make like Mexican music, huh?" And I'm like, "No, bro, I'm a Mexican artist that makes great music. So don't ever put my culture as part of my label, because that has nothing to do with my artistry. I'm a dope artist. It doesn't matter if I was black, purple, pink, or multicolored. I'm dope." You know what I mean? And you can throw me in whoever and wherever. I'm going to sound dope. I'm going to sound like a strong voice. I'm going to sound like a seasoned artist, because I take this shit serious. I've done my 10,000 hours more than a couple times. You know what I mean? Like,
which is important to be spending those hours in the studio.
Yeah, and I'm just big on that, bro, because I come from that. I come from like a huevo waking up, you know, and chingando in the fields and you know, busting your back and then going to school, falling asleep in class, shit like that. You know what I mean? And then getting told my whole youth, like, you ain't gonna be shit because you're Mexican. You know what I mean? Because blah blah blah. And now it's like, I'm glad to say that didn't age well for anybody who ever told me that, because I'm up right now. You know what I mean? This little ain't gonna be shit Mexican is fucking enjoying. I smile every day, bro. I wake up every day because I didn't let anything break me. You know what I mean?
And that's so important, especially when somebody. It looks like us, you know, it's Mexican or Hispanic or Latino or however you identify, because we're always subpar to everything, because we are living in a country that hypes up other cultures, to put it mostly, you know, white, Protestant, or whatever right-leaning culture that you have. Not everybody, but that's usually what we see, get hyped up for the most part. When it comes to cultural groups like ourselves, I feel like we need that representation. The whole reason I do this podcast, the whole reason I like to work with EQ, because of the things that he's doing, I'm sure for his community over there, for my community over here, and for your community wherever you're reaching out. So same with my partner. She works with us, and she's Latina as well, or Chicana, and it is about putting ourselves out there and letting the kids that know that it's possible, that if you look like us, fuck everything else, you can do it. If you have dreams, you can do it. So that's really dope that's what your music is about. And thank you. I don't know, EQ, if you want to add something.
Well, being the minority, I think, you know, that I think Skilly and I were talking about it earlier today, like, when you come from nothing, right, and you've been knocked down your whole life, and you've been, you know, told you weren't going to be anything, right? Your whole life, you've been getting told this, right? Or you come from nothing. You kind of have nothing to lose, right? So it's like, let's go get it.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, and us being, you know, Latinos, I think that kind of runs in the DNA, you know, work hard, hustle, let's get it, you know, and that's what it is, man, you know, and it's cool, man. It's cool to see, and just like representing just like each other, man. A good example is, man, this still goes into me, man. But I was doing something with the youth, right, in the amphitheater. We were doing some introductions, and then kids were coming by in different, like, it was like a field trip, and they were meeting different musicians, right? And I was giving them the business aspect of things, and there was a few kids that were Latino, I want to say, you know, and he came up to me afterwards, and he was like, "Man, I want to be a rapper, et cetera, et cetera." And then after everything was done, he came out running after me. He's like, "Man, he saw myself in it, you know, in himself. He's like, man, if you can do it, I can do it." And, you know, and that's kind of what we're trying to do. It's like, man, you know, we need more people in these positions of power that are, you know,
influential in a positive way.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's like it's cool to stay out of trouble and get money, bro. It's cool to be smart and be the nerd and figure out how to break these generational wealth that we weren't privy to prior to that. It's cool to figure those out and be that person that, you know what I mean, do that paradigm shift in your family or perspectives around you. And then because I want to say that as much as we are, you know, how we the metiches we tend to be, like, but when you see somebody doing something good, and then you see them doing good, and then it's too infectious that you're like the metichiness or whatever don't even matter anymore. It's just like, because like I said, we're like EQ, we're willing to go back and share the game. Like, hey, bro, the water's right there.
Yeah,
come with me. I don't need it all.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna walk you there. I'm not gonna hold your hand there, but by all means, here's the directions. Follow us there. Come, you know what I mean? Come share some of it.
Which, in retrospect, it's also something that we see in Latino culture or Mexican culture, etc., where they have this crab-like mentality where nobody's getting out of the bucket. You know, everybody's pulling each other down, and you know, that's why I thank EQ at the beginning, because he sees the bigger picture. You see the bigger picture of it all. It's not about having too many fish on the pond, you know. There's water for everybody, like you mentioned, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because you know, to be critical of our own culture, that I see that a lot in meaningless things, you know, from a job that you get or that you're trying to get to even a friendship, you know. It's just crazy how that mentality is.
I think it's so weird. It's kind of a toxic trait or habit we've had in our culture that's been kind of like chiseled in, that a lot of people are like maybe scared to challenge or don't challenge it enough, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because like I know definitely now as an adult, having adult conversations going like tios y tías and stuff, the conversations are way different. You know what I mean? And now you realize a lot of the shit that never got talked about, or that maybe we were young and naive and didn't talk about it. You know what I mean? But that's definitely, I think, like something that moving forward, or when we get more platforms like this and we have like our generations of like the people just right under that, like we
millennials, baby.
There you go. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like we get to kind of open up that conversation at least, or at least like invite the dialogue to be had. You know what I mean? Because like I feel like prior to us, there's a lot of shit that we always got. I don't know about you guys, but at least for me, it's always like it's okay, va a estar bien, no cheese, güey, or you know, stuff like that, toughen up, you know, fucking man up, stuff like that. And it was like, hey man, sometimes I'm tired, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Tell sometimes me it's gonna be cool. I don't want to work, you know. And I could tell you that back, and we're cool, and support system, right? We're family. You know what I mean? Let's build off of something like that instead of this like, nah, bro, you figure it out. Nah, bro, sometimes I need some help, dog. You know what I mean? So when I get to your position, I can go gracefully just be like, hey, you know what I mean? Here's the tools. Here's the keep it rocking.
Here's what I learned throughout the years that can help you, and not just gatekeeping that information. You mentioned, I think you mentioned something like that in one of your songs. One of the hooks that I really liked was yo vengo de un lugar donde no creen en los sueños.
Oh yeah.
Which means I come from a place where people don't believe in dreams, and I feel like that's also another thing that we can criticize. And not to be shitting on our moms or dads, but coming to a new country, in our case, you're never told to reach to the stars. You know, you're right here. I get a job here at McDonald's, survive, and that's all we're here for. But
put your hands to work, not your brain to work.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. And at some point, not everybody's like that. Not everybody's a cookie cutter type person. There's crazies, as I like to call it, crazies like us that like to, you know,
crazies.
Yeah, the crazies.
Challenge the norm.
Yeah, they say, what the fuck, dude? Why can't I do that? You know, I'm gonna give it a shot.
That's right.
Coming back to the music aspect of things, I wanted to ask you, is there any type of music that, because you mostly do rap, trap even, is there any other genre that you would like to explore? I know, like un reggaeton, trap, maybe un techno flow, hip hop, una cumbia rap, I don't know.
This is the funny part, and this is why I'm excited about this new offering and, you know, situation that I'm going to have here with La Familia. Because of the fact that all I've had these last couple of years is I've just stacked music. So everything you just named, I have 1 to 2, maybe 3 songs in every single thing you just said. I just have them sitting there. But What spawned me to do that is when Russ came out and really popped off.
Yeah,
I really got into. I didn't care so much for the music, but I love that dude's vibrato, how he talks, all that shit he talks. To me, it's never been shit talking. It's just that's some boss talk that you earned it. You talk it confidently because you walk those shoes to get there. So I feel it 100%. So I got really like, damn. Somewhere in there, he just said, stack your content. And when you figure out when you have a bag or when you have a game plan, then you don't have to do any of the work anymore. Then it's just like, hey, cool, I'm gonna go take a. Oh, you just said, oh, look, reggaeton. I got one, bro, and he's heard one, the Bonita track.
Ew.
You know what I mean?
It's hot.
And it's just like, and so my thing is, I started rapping. I love to do rap, but I got into auto tune during the quarantine time, and I just really fell in love with it because I've always said it all the time. If I had when we were getting created as humans or whatever, and said, hey, well, this is your talent. If whatever created us said, hey, you want to be a rapper or singer, I would have said a singer, bro. I would have been just Trey Songz and Chris Brown, fucking that whole Jeremiah, all those vibes, bro. I'd be singing my ass out, dog. Like I'd be doing that.
Yeah. I get it.
That's when it was good music. When it had a feel, bro.
And I know people
when it had a feel.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
No, but yeah.
Because here's the thing about
so
music
true,
to me. It's great. It's enjoyable. But when you heard a song and it takes you back to like, let's say like a love interest you had at the moment, when you hear like Usher, like some shit like that, you kind of, in your head, you go back to like, damn, or like, this is how we do it. When you hear that, for me, instantly, I go back to like high school era and the basement parties and me just getting like on this big booty chick, just like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, that's the type of shit I remember. But like but good music with a feel does shit like that to you. Right. This like
now it just makes you want to do perks or fucking lean or that's good. Yeah,
right.
It's not bad, but that's kind of like the energy. Before it was like, let's go out and party, let's go out with this shawty.
What's funny right now that you're saying that? It was like it felt like it was too fun before, and the government now or whatever is like, hey man, you guys are having too much fun over there. Yeah. We're going to throw some of this in here. So here's some perkies, here's some whatever, right?
Well, I think it's a message that they're trying to spread, right? Like they really have control of the narrative. Yeah. And hip hop being so influential, I think, I don't know. I think I'm with you right there with that, Skilly, because music nowadays is so negative.
If you think about it,
it really is.
I like right now, it's like, I don't mean to spawn on it too much, but now I was thinking about it. I was like, whatever I just described to you, I was like, I couldn't tell you anything past 2000s that makes me feel like that. Like every time I hear Nelly, I still remember the first time I heard it where I was like, what the fuck is this? And why does he talk like that? Why did it say there? Why did blah, blah, blah? But 3 days later, right? Fucking, all the going heavy too. But it's like, it's that stuff where it's like, or when 50 Cent first came out, bro. I don't know about you guys, bro, but I really thought I was 50 Cent when I got out the shower, bro, and had the comb.
The candy shop and shit.
Yeah, bro. And walking around with a tank top feeling tough, you know what I mean? Shit like that, bro. It was that feel that you got from that. You know what I mean? I just don't feel like the music's conveyed like that anymore. Or the people that do, they don't get the proper
notoriety.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? But like I said, we just described it. I'm like, well, duh. I'm like, the overseers that control all this. Of course, we were never supposed to have fun in their optics. We're not supposed to have fun. So yeah, 90s era was super fun. 2000s was like okay, and then it's just hit these last 10 years. I don't know about you guys, but that's where I say everything these last 10 years have been microwave. Just it comes and goes. Nothing sticks. What has stuck and does stick, it's like what the fuck, like. Yeah, that stuck around.
It's like something viral.
Yeah,
it's just merely virality. It's not. It doesn't have that essence. It's very, like you said. It's just microwavable music.
The instant music.
The instant packs, bro. Smoking instant packs, bro.
Do the dance. Do the thing.
Yeah, 30-second music, man. Beep.
We got the Maruchan raps, bro.
Maruchan raps. That's funny. I wanted to ask you, what's one of the weirdest ways you've gotten inspired for a song, like something you mentioned shrooms, okay. So if you want to tap into that a little more on the psychedelic side, or if you've had, I just want to know like the weirdest inspiration you've had for a song.
So I don't know if it's inspiration, but it's a funny story if you want to hear it.
Yeah, of course.
So the first time I ever, I don't dabble too much in psychedelics, but like I said, during quarantine, we had all the time in the world, and I was like, you know what, I might try some acid. So I tried, and then here's the funny part, bro, because when it comes to me stepping outside of smoking weed, I'm a fucking like chicken, like I'm a scaredy cat, bro. So I'm like, they showed me this little tiny little tab or whatever, and I was like, hey, can you cut that shit up in like force or some shit? Yeah. And then
it's like I guess.
And it was funny because the homie was like, no, bro, just throw it under your tongue, you'll be fine. And I'm like, I was like, that looks like a lot, bro. And he was like, no, trust me, it's not a lot, bro. We take like 3 or 4. And I'm like, oh, okay. But in my head, I was like, nah, bro. I was like, I've watched too many movies. For
a first timer, it can be a lot.
Yeah. So I was like, my sole intention was like, hey, I wonder what this would be like in the studio trying to listen to beats or record. Okay. So I kind of took it as like an experiment. I didn't do it for the sake of like, oh, I'm trying to get fucked up and just be whatever. I really had intentions to be like, okay, well, when I'm stoned and I'm fucking in my zone, I'm productive. I can get shit done. I wonder if I can curate that same thing under the effect of some other stimulation or whatever, right? So anyway, long story short, I was too chicken to see the whole thing, so I only took half of that tab. And it took probably like 30 minutes to kick in. And when it did, bro, it was fucking crazy for me. You were
seeing spiders out the wall, snakes coming down the ceiling.
No, so the funny part is we took them, and then like we live right down the street from a taco spot. And so over there it's called like a Roberto's. And I think we went to something similar last time here. Something like Gilberto's. There you go. Yeah, they're open all the time. Yeah, that's right. Every day of the year type shit. So yeah, so we went there, and it was
like hustling, man.
Yeah, they're doing something, bro.
They have to be making some
good money. They got aliens, bro. They got aliens, bro. It's support, dog. It's support. So anyways, we're like we're down the street from it, and I was like, hey, we probably got enough time to run down there and get some food and come back before this hits, right? Because he was like, the homie was like, yeah, man, sometimes I just slam these to the face, and like an hour later I'm tripping. I'm like, all right, cool. Bro, as soon as we got in the car, bro, like at least for me, I sat in the car, and then I had this weird I felt like I shrunk, and my car just went whoo, and it got big. Yes. And then like when I turned it on, it's like a push start, so it does all the little electric stuff on the dash. And all I heard was and I'm all sitting there like, dude, I can't drive, bro.
Dude, I'm in fucking Jupiter. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, so I'm seeing all this shit just big, and then the funny part is like I said, and because in my head I was very conscious that I was trying to gauge how I could maneuver under that high. Like I wasn't just trying to be like, oh, I'm high and I'm just letting it go. I was very conscious that I was like, okay, I'm high, but you
had a purpose behind why you were indulging in the
I was like, I'm gonna see if I can drive this or whatever, drive this headspace I'm in or whatever. So I literally, I shit you not, bro, in my head I drove a spaceship down the street because that's how it felt like. But I like zoned in, and I was like, nah, I got this, bro. Fucking hit the stop sign, we chill, all the proper law abiding things to do, you know what I mean? And then we go and hit, and we pull up. No, we pull up. In
reality, you see it from another focus like, we're lucky it was 2 a.m. in Idaho, man.
We're probably like,
fuck, we fucked up.
Yeah, no, so we managed to get there, and I remember ordering, and then in the span of ordering and waiting for the food, I thought it felt like a long time. So, because I remember at one point...
Yeah, time kind of changes the perception of it.
Yeah, because I had enough time to get out of the car at some point. I walked around my car. The homeboy that was with me went up to the window. Like, there was a car in front of us. He cut in front of the car to go ask for napkins or something like that. Came back. We were both sitting on top of the car at some point because they were just taking too long. And then we both got in the car. Oh, and this is where we fucked up, because I had the idea to time it. Because I had my phone out, and I was like coherent in what I was doing. So I was like, I'm going to hit the timer real quick. And I hit the timer. And this is where I was like, I wish I wouldn't have done it, because it really fucked me up afterwards. Because all this felt like it was like, I don't know, 20 minutes. Like, I really felt like
So you got to like timestamp your trip.
Yeah,
and the how you were perceiving time. Mm-hmm. That's actually very interesting.
So, because like I said, I had intentions to try to make this a learning experience.
You were fully experimenting.
Yeah, no, you know what I watched? You ever seen the movie Inception?
Yes, I have. Yes.
So when I watched that, for whatever
great movie,
for whatever reason, just that ideology of like you sleep and deeper sleep and time warps and all that stuff, I was like, hey, if that's a thing, like I wonder if I can just become in control of it or whatever. But anyways, what tripped me out, I thought, like I said, everything I mentioned, to me it felt like an elapsed time like 20 minutes or something. We get up there. I remember the guy at the drive-thru just thought everything was funny, because he was like, "You guys good?" And we were like, "Yeah." And he was
Your
like,
eyes are like chameleon eyes, just fucking. We're great.
Yeah, and I remember because he was like, "Oh, it's this much," and I had like a $20 bill, and I was like, "Just keep the change." And he was like, "Oh," he's like, "Yeah," and then he was like, "Hey, you guys want some sodas and all this shit, right?" And we're like,
"Yeah, extra salsa."
Getting guacamole. So nice. We're taking all the extra shit, and then we're driving off, and I was like, "Hey, we should just park and eat," because at this point, this is at least over there where the first time time we ever seen the carne asada fries when that got introduced over
right,
there.
Right,
as like the late night munchie
the
food.
Alleged, the famous, or infamous, because they can make you go shit really bad. But
no, if you have no respect for your stomach, by all means, go do something like that.
At 2 a.m., you don't have any respect for anything. Really.
Unless your stomach's like bulletproof, then hey, by all means, guy, enjoy that twice. You know what I mean?
25 was a good age,
bro. I'm saying. So anyway, so I check. We park, and I'm like, let's just eat and park. I checked the timer, and the timer had said the time that had passed by was like 7 minutes and something seconds. I don't know why. I had like those movie scenes where I got tiny again, and it was like, and I was freaking out because I was like, that's the only time that went by, and I was like, I'm moving like on fast forward or something. So then I was like freaking out, and I was like, let's get back in the car, get back to the studio. Long story short, we get back to the studio safely. We get out, and right away I was like, oh, let's try and record. And I remember I was trying to open just a session, a recording session, and as soon as the thing started popping up on the screen, it felt like a 3D version of Tetris. Like all of them were like boom, boom, and I was like, oh shit! So I was So
Dance Revolution or something.
I'm over here getting down, bro. Just
I said it's bars revolution.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here clicking, and all this is popping up, and I was like, I can't do this. So I'm like sitting down, and I'm freaking out, and I'm trying to breathe, and I'm like looking for the homeboy because I was gonna ask him like, hey, are you good? And he was in the corner of kind of a setup.
He's just
no. So he was in the corner, and there was a little plant or something in the corner, and he was in the corner just caressing every leaf on the plant.
Yeah, it's a very touchy.
And I'm like, hey, fam. Yeah, I'm like, fam, you good?
Just
and he turns around, bro. He turns around and he's like, you ever felt the texture on the leaf of a plant? And I was like, the texture on the
Mexican,
leaf
of course, bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And he goes, and I remember he's holding this leaf, and he just holds it like this, and he keeps rubbing the shit out of this leaf, and he's like, you hear that? And I was like, I don't hear nothing. He's like, I don't mean either. I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm like, for sure. And he's like, no, but you hear that? And I was like, no, I don't hear nothing. And he's like, anyways, you ever felt the texture of a leaf before? And I was like, no. And the whole time just doing this, bro. And it was funny because as he was doing it, his hand was getting bigger and bigger. And so he was doing this.
Oh, shit.
And I was watching
he has like this humongous hand. Holy fuck.
So I'm sitting there like, man, I was like, I can't do this right now. I just, and then the funny part to the whole thing is where we did this at was a studio that I was like apprenticing in, basically. Like, shout out my homie, Too Fresh. He had a studio in the back, and he was like, yeah, if you can figure out how to do it, by all means, bro, here's the
stuff,
code. Yeah. Right. So I had been in there all summer. It was just one of those days that I was like, hey man, just come over, because the homie played acoustics and stuff, and my intention was like, hey man, maybe we can get in there and get some like live instruments and stuff. Like, I'd like to get something like that on the song.
Which I wish more music did that, don't you think?
Bro,
like, I know computer
in person cookups, man. Like, well, that's the thing. The way I gauge that is like people that are book smart and people that are street smart. Like, the people that are book smart, yeah, you have all the proper on paper everything, right? But then you have to apply it in the street. Sometimes
the praxis of it all.
Yeah, practice, the finesse, hey, you got to step a certain way. Hey, watch out, there's a crack on the road right there. But you don't know that unless you're actually out here learning like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just spaced out for where we're going.
No, you're good. That's a great story for letting me know that inspired music, I'm sure, in the future.
Oh, yeah, that's what my bad. Okay, so it wasn't necessarily an inspirational thing, but for me, it definitely afterwards it was we did at some point finally I was able to kind of navigate the high, and I was able to record, and we recorded something which was hilarious because at the moment the
next day at like 3 p.m. or something.
I always used to see this meme of like the producers or rappers or whatever late night producing something. They do the playback in the morning. They're like, oh, what the fuck did I do? that I had never. But like legitimately, like transparently being admitful that I had ever done that, I really felt like everything the next day still sounded good, and I was like, yeah, this is good. It's not to cringe at, right?
No, yeah.
That day, bro. Well, whatever we recorded that I thought sounded good because we're high on acid, bro.
Speaking alien tongues or some shit.
There's a modulator that I started throwing on our voices. We're sounding like aliens and singing aliens, and fucking you can see that the auto tune was too robotic. There was just stuff that was going on there that my sober brain would have never done. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the next day I was listening to it, and I was really like, fuck were we doing, bro?
Just fucking around.
But the cool part was, I guess there was a learning experience to it because there was something I couldn't figure out with like tuning the auto tune program I was using at the moment for whatever reason. All the fucking around that I did the night before had like unlocked some kind of understanding of what I was doing incorrectly. So then after that, moving forward, I was
find
like,
that connection somehow.
Yeah, like I somehow was like, my auto-tune just sounded better. Like it sounded more on point. And then so that's funny that you asked that, because I guess I never realized it. But I guess I did get like a learning something out of this, some inspiration. You know what I mean? Because now, like I said, anything that's like that I get a chance to have some fun on and do some singing on, I don't write anything down. I'll just go in there and just put the beat on. You know what I mean? I'll catch my little vibe, turn the lights low, light a joint, fucking just let the beat play.
Can you freestyle?
Like freestyle. And because like I said, that whole album.
I don't know. And I always don't. I don't. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I didn't want to like assume that somebody can freestyle, because it's different artistry. You know?
Bro, you ever want to find that out? Just put somebody on the spot. Hey, freestyle right now. 99% of the people will be like, nah.
Yeah.
I come from when I started rapping, bro. Like we were in the grocery store, because I was like around like older fools, like people like our age now and stuff, and they'd be like, hey, well, the little homie raps. Hey, rap, and I'm like, fuck, all right, cool, nah, right? But it was like, so it kind of low key conditioned to just like now, which I'm thankful for all that stuff I went through, because now I can get in the studio, and if I know I gotta pay for a studio hour or whatever, I'll give you a whole song in an hour. You know what I mean? And I'll write it right there, fresh and everything. I don't got you don't got to give me nothing more than that, because that's
skills.
I'm trained to do it. I trained myself to do that. You know what I mean? So one thing I ever say proudly, if like when people don't like me or say anything about me, I'm always willing to be like, well, challenge my work ethic. Let's go get in the studio. Give me an hour, give you an hour. You want to talk big? Cool, give me an hour, dog. Can you do something in an hour? Because I don't need to call nobody either, so I can get in the studio and engineer my whole shit too.
Yo, there's this guy that wants to record. Are we good?
Yeah.
Do I need to sign anything? We have a napkin. Napkin's good.
But I like being in that position too, because now I really like advocate for that. Hey, bro, if you're willing to pay for studio time, then buy some studio stuff. Watch a couple YouTube videos, dog. You really can't figure it out. I did it in the summer. Did it take a whole summer? Hell yeah, I was there from like 7. I was working at the moment. I'd go in at 6, and I would.
Where were you working at, if you remind me?
I was working on a calf ranch. So at one point, I had a calf ranch. Me and my dad, we were raising cattle, so we were raising little becerros and stuff. So we would start work at 6 in the morning. So I would get off anywhere from like 3 or 2, or it kind of depends, but my usual hour to be, because I would commute then 30 minutes to where I was going to the studio I was working at.
Okay.
So I still commute 30 minutes that way, and anywhere on a given day I was there after 4 o'clock, but I'd be there from 4 o'clock to 3 or 4 in the morning, and then I'd either take a nap there, or I wouldn't sleep, and then I'd just go back to work. And then I'd take a nap. Bro, I'd take a nap at lunch or something.
Yeah. You're hearing that, people?
Yeah. And you can do it. And it's fun. The thing is, I used to watch.
Son ganas.
Yeah. Because I wanted to figure. Well, here's the thing. I don't know when I was going to run across somebody else just freely being like, hey, bro, here's access to my studio. Go have a day about it. Figure whatever you're going to figure out. I didn't know when I was going to have that opportunity again. So for whatever time I had to utilize that, I've just tried to make it beneficial. You know what I mean? So I just like I said, try to figure out how to record and just figure it out, because now I don't have to wait for anybody to do something for me. Now if I want to,
you can move the knobs yourself.
Exactly.
In a way.
You know what I mean? And it's good too, because it gives you, for anybody out there that's an aspiring artist, it gives you the keys to be in positions of leverage right away, because you're not asking for outsource too much. You can kind of, for the bigger stuff, you know what I mean? Like for example, like, you know what I mean, me at the point I was at, I was moving plenty fine by myself, but meeting EQ, he's able to offer me visibility and placements where I don't know how to get into, or I wouldn't even know how to. The luxury I get now is I get his blessings to kind of be around it and pick up game if I choose to do so, you know what I mean? But the cool thing about him is he's been very transparent, like, hey bro, I ain't trying to I'm not trying to bogart none of this, like pick up game and take what you need, you know what I mean? Go do it over there too. I see what you be doing, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's why, like, a lot of the conversations we have, they feel real cool, because it's like I feel like we're just kind of on the same table already,
which is hard to find sometimes. People that have those aspirations, you know, and like I've mentioned before, especially when you are from a culture, a different culture, you are not allowed to free think that way. And when you find somebody with the same mentality and same outlook or view of wanting to better themselves and also better the culture in a way, it's a blessing. It really is, because you're able to ping pong off of that constantly, and it's totally a blessing. I wanted to ask you something, and this is also for both of you guys. Have you guys ever had, or I'll phrase it this way, have you guys ever had a weird occasion, like with a fan or with like maybe during a show or something awkward or something weird that like a fan approached you or somebody that wanted to tell you something? Have you guys ever had any weird instances? What's the weirdest thing that, if you guys want to share it on here?
I think
you want to go first?
I'll let EQ.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I need to think of mine, but
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there hasn't been too many, but I mean,
thank
there's
God. No,
definitely been
thank.
some.
Well, you're like,
I think for me, just off the top of my head, the weirdest interaction I've had is just, I want to say, like newbie people that aren't very clear with their intentions of what they're trying to do. And then
newbie people in the sense of rap,
in the sense of rap or business. Let's just say business. You know what I mean? When people want to jump into business endeavors and they just don't know how to direct or have a game plan or whatever they're doing. So I feel like it can cause discrepancies for the parties involved. And then the other, to elaborate on that a little bit, for me, what's happened to me before is I've had like weird instances where like somebody just wanted to hang out and just be in a studio kicking it and stuff, and I'm like, right. And then I'm like, bro, you want to work on something, you know what I mean, you want to get something done, and they might be just like, oh, I just want to come smoke and, you know, hang out, and, you know, you got something you got something you need me on. And in my head I'm like, did you just book studio time to come ask me if I would like to put you, I don't know you, for a hole in the wall, but you want me to put you, hold on, you want me to put you on something that I've been working on time, that I've been saying, right, you know what I mean? So it's like, so I'm like, bro, you got some nerve,
it's because it's time. It comes down to time, really. And if you're able to understand that time is valuable, you don't want to waste, I don't want to waste your guys' time, you know, and you don't want to have your time be wasted. And
I just remember my most awkward time was I had a bad business dealing with a client that I was recording. I was offering studio time to him. So I'm pretty big on, like, if I just don't fuck with you as a person, like, I really can pass on the business. I don't really need it. You know what I mean?
And that's fair. That's emotionally intelligent.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, because when I was younger, I was willing to make $1 wherever and however, and I needed to get it, right? Because I got stuff I got to pay.
20 is a 20,
right? No, I mean,
you
give me a step into that?
No, I'm just messing. To
an extent, man. No, so I was he was doing some goofy stuff out and about in the real world that I got wind of through a mutual friend, because they were like, oh, you're recording that kid? And I was like, you know, what's up, what's you know, what's the tea, let me know. And they were like, oh, you know what, I don't really want to air it out. It was just some weirdo stuff that I was like, I'm not really with that, bro. Like, I'm really not with that at all. And then our following session we had, I kind of just like was like, damn, I just don't want to fucking continue nothing. I just need to cut it right there, because I just really don't condone none of that.
It's the vibe that you get, right?
Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
And so I just pretty much told them, I was like, hey, dog, I'm gonna just finish this up, and then you can take it as is, and you owe me this much, and then we'll just call it a day. And he was like, oh, what do you mean? Like, when can I come in for again? I was like, oh, you can't come in again. And then he was like, but it was funny.
Man, that must have been kind of like a hard, tough conversation.
I'll be honest, I was a little I'm not gonna say nervous, but I was on edge a little bit, because it's a young kid. And here's the funny part too. I'll just be transparent about it, because he kind of, everything he rapped about was just some extra shit, like he was really active or whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. So I just I want to say maybe I was being more cautious than anything, you know what I mean, on my approach. But but me sometimes too, when I'm in the studio, I'm just like, bro, in the respects of, we're in a creative space, if you can't take some criticism or some hard, like, this is just what it is, then you're in the wrong business, bro. Like, or you got to tighten up on your feelings or figure it out. You know what I mean? Because this is what it is for real people that take this serious, that like really say, hey, when you're on my time, I'm gonna make something happen for you. Vice versa. Those people take it serious. Anyways, I tell him, I'm like, bro, this is just not gonna happen. And he was like, well, what happened? Like, you just like, and I was like, look, bro, I just don't want to continue any kind of business with you forward, and that's just kind of what it is, bro. And then at this point, I'm just gonna finish this up, and then as soon as I email this to you, bro, I'd like for you to just leave my house. And then, because this was me recording at my house too, because that's why I was kind of being cautious too, because I'm like, I don't want this fool to wild out and do anything in my house or whatever, right? Or he knows where I live. You know what I mean?
That's always a touchy subject, especially when you're like doing freelance stuff, you know, where it's on your own.
And then if people feel mistreated with their business or whatever, or whatever miscommunication they might have or misunderstanding, but they just want to put it to, oh, you're fucking me over, you're not doing good business to me. It's like, so anyways, I was just like, you know, I was like, no, dude, I'm not. And then he was like, well, what's up? Like, you don't like what I'm doing? I was like, look, bro, I'm gonna just check this out, dog. I was like, this is my studio. You're in my house right now. I don't have to explain myself. I'm not gonna further explain myself. And right now, you got me on a really nice note that I'm gonna ask you to just leave my house. I was like,
respectfully, get the fuck out.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And it was weird, bro, because I honestly, we had one of those movie moments where, like, if the cameraman would have been panning my synopsis, he would have been doing the pan frame from his face to my face to his face for like a good 45 seconds. That felt solid, bro, because he was like, and I was just standing there like, nah, bro, like, get out of my house,
it's
bro.
Done.
Like, get out of my house, dog. Like, and I'm saying this as flat toned as I can because I'm not trying to be extra. I just know and get out of my house, dog.
Yeah.
Simple as that. We don't gotta be extra about it. So then it was funny because he was like, well, nah, bro, fuck that. And I was like, no, you can get the fuck out my house, dog, is what you can do, bro. And I was like, and at this point, bro, I was like, I just don't want to work with you because you're not that great at what you got going on, bro. And it's just not something that I want to cater to. And I don't want my name involved with it. How about that?
That's honestly,
you know what I mean?
The best answer. If you don't want to affiliate your name or your persona or your whatever you're built with something that you don't vibe with, it's completely fair to say no.
And to top it off, cherry on everything, when he walks out, he turns around and he was just like, whoa. He goes, it's not like this fucking song was that cool anyways. And in my head, I was like, it's your song, pendejo.
Damn right.
Like, dog, what do you... who are you trying to offend?
I'm just moving the knobs over here, man. I'm just...
And it made me laugh even more, I guess, in the producer grand sense of things. Because I was like, I haven't even done nothing to it. That's just the one raw whatever that you came and recorded. I haven't even lifted a finger. So you saying it sounds like shit just makes it extra funnier because it has nothing to do...
He just
I have no
insulted himself.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's your fault. Bro, you sound like that. That's not my issue. You wake up and sound like that, you know? And I was like, come on, dog. But yeah, I think for me, it was... I would say it was awkward because after that, I kind of definitely was just like, bro, I don't want to record anybody anymore. And I just kind of really turned into, like, I want to call it like a boutique service because I was offering mobile studio services to people. Like, so a lot of people were like, oh, I can't come to the studio. I'm like, I'll come to you. And then so like during quarantine, I really got my bag up like that because people would be like, oh, well, I got my kids and blah, blah. I'm like, do you got a garage or something? Man, I got the kids room. I'm like, bro, I will get down in the kids room, dog. Fucking, if it's cool that
you got some mattresses, let's fucking start this shit up, homie.
Bro. If I would have had a vlog system or something doing that, bro, I recorded in people's basements. I recorded in a bunch of kids' rooms, like
was it random people or
no, just like homies that I was willing to entertain the service to.
They have to have some level of skill.
Because I will put this out too. I got to the point where I was like, why I call it boutique is because I was like, hey, I'm not. I got to the point for me, the engineering part is I'm not trying to sell you my time. I'm strictly selling you my ideas and what I'm willing to gift you because you hired me to elaborate on whatever idea you had. So you want me to Picasso it for you. That's what I'm charging you for at this point. So it's like, so when people ask me like, what do you do? I sell art. That's what I do. You know what I mean? Because that's what we do. We throw the sauce, throw sazon and everything, make it better. You know what I mean?
Amen.
So
unlike Bad Bunny that has taken the sazon out of things, you know?
Benito's down bad, bro.
Yeah, dude. What do you think about that? Do you think he's been criticized a lot because they've been saying that he's been doing the same flow for I don't know how many the past year or whatever.
You know why I think that comment's dumb or just doesn't
yeah, I want to know your opinion on that. Yeah,
it's because people will so it's like, for example, him or like the most recent one that come to my head, like The Baby. Oh, you sound the same, you do the same. I'm like, bro, that's what you blew up off of. The thing is we live in that microwave era where it doesn't matter. You're going to continue doing what you blew up off of, but in the time we're currently in, it's going to outplay itself because people are already conditioned to hurt it too much. You didn't change nothing. Okay, I'm out. But in the same sense of like the longevity for the people, like let's say like Snoop and people like that, they do the same. Snoop still raps the same, still does the same. Like, hey, what's up? No, smoke, all that. It's the same stuff. But the people that grew up off Snoop, we love Snoop.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. He don't got to change to me because if he did, like when he started doing the Spanish stuff, I thought that was cool because it was just tapping in with raza and stuff like that. Yeah.
But like, he's a big fan of. It looks like.
Yeah, but then when he did the experimental stuff, like he does the when he was Snoop Lion for a second, you know what I mean? When he had the name change,
he did a whole reggae album.
Yeah, no? You know what I mean? So it's like, but the people that fuck with him, they were there for the whole ride. You know what I mean? Because it was we grew to like him. We're invested in him as a character, as him. You know what I mean?
So would you say that maybe that reflects more on the people listening? That's more on the people.
I just think it was the time frame, bro.
Okay.
I just think people had a bigger impact because social media and access to people wasn't so oversaturated. Because that's what we have now. We have an oversaturation of access to everybody and anything we want to see. Because you can find anything on the internet, dog. Like you can find anything on the internet, bro.
Literally.
The volume that things are coming out on. Like back in the day, you had to go stand in line for that Snoop Dogg release, and
on a Friday,
on a Friday,
2 p.m.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you can go listen to a Drake album, and then by next week another artist has dropped an album. Everyone forgot about Drake, and it's just like, I guess again going back to this microwave music, it's just like it's lost its touch, it's lost its feeling. Because I remember those days, right, when you had to go stand in line or had to go personally go and buy the CD because you weren't finding it anywhere, right? Unless you had it. And it's just, I think that's where I guess music itself has lost most of it. And it
lost
Benito,
the feel, bro.
Benito, I think with that, it's just, I think, either way, he's still gonna sell. But
he has
his core base. Like if you really chuck it up to the statistics, his core base is making money. I don't know what he's sad about. No, he's still making money. No. Is it at the same magnitude?
Right.
No. You know what I mean? Does it change? Everything changes. Everything has waves. You know what I mean? Just like for right now, like the big joke is that Peso Pluma replaced him or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't, Mexican. Yeah, I don't care for the style
regional
or the genre, but I'm hella down for the fact that it's raza out there finally.
Right?
Because you know what? For me, in my eyes as an artist, it just is involved. Like I said, back to we're not a genre of music. We're just artists involved in the genre. Now it's like, hey, well, what else is in there? Like, or hey, you know what? That little Spanish kid's kind of nice. What else they got? Who else got sauce? I don't care because I know that's how people talk. That's just what it is. That's the industry we're in. But you know what I mean? But when we give them something to look at, that's the cool part. Because if this is what I tell you, what I like to, what me and EQ were talking about. But when you have like something worth sticking around for, or something with meat and potatoes, or something that you did like the flavor, te gustó el sazón, te gustó la salsa, whatever, la presentación, se te quedó. That's the difference. That's when you find the good artists. You know what I mean? Because people like that have that approach and have that like stick around. You know what I mean? Because people are like, oh damn, this is cool. Like they want to stick around for something.
Do you guys have any rituals before you guys go to perform? Do you have any rituals like with La Familia, with Miggy C, with Shiloh, and now Skilly? Do you guys do any rituals before you guys hit the stage?
No, so nothing, no rituals,
no prayers, nothing.
No prayers. I pray like for myself before before I go on stage. I me persino and everything, and I just go and kill it. That's my thing after, but it's more of a ritual afterwards.
Okay.
I have to give myself at least like
shit-faced it or
no. I mean, that's right. Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, that is the time to do it.
I feel like that would be. That's why rock stars are rock stars. I mean, right? I feel like
rock stars do it prior.
They do it throughout.
That's the lifestyle.
Rock stars do it all day.
You know what I mean? Look at that. Look at my rock star here.
How about you, Skilly? Do you have any pre-performance rituals?
No, you know what I have though as a funny. I think it's more because I'm really just trying to be more mindful of just staying active as just being in good health. But I have this random habit of lately I'll just do push-ups. Like if I get anxious and
I need to do some push-ups.
Yeah, and I'll just hit some push-ups. And it's like I said, and do I have any intention other than just relaxing, or for whatever reason it relaxes me because I finally figured out how to do a good push-up. So you do like the whole full body engagement, and you kind of get a
P90X push-up.
Yeah, there you go. You got the P90X push-up, but you get a good like breath and shit. So for me, I just feel like I get a good if this makes sense, like I get a good
endorphins. No, yeah, the endorphins start kicking in,
going,
and then you kind of get to just like you get to and then because I still to this day, right before I perform, I still get fucking nervous as fuck.
Crazy.
I still do.
I wanted to ask you guys about that. I still do.
I like to the point where in my head I'm like, oh, you know what, fuck it, I'll just skip a song. I won't even perform. And then they give me the mic, and it's like, what's up? Like right away, it's like I feel like it just completely goes away once I get the mic on que me dieron el magic mic or something. You know what I mean?
Whoa! Again,
it's like the shoes. I forget what movie. It was.
Oh yeah, the
Air Forces.
I'm
talking about
like Mike. Yeah, when he throws the shoes on. Yeah, like that feeling of like, oh no, I'm him.
And it is a mic, but just spelled different.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
So you do some push-ups before you go in, and then
I used to drink. I used to have that, but I honestly feel like that was just a bad habit. You know what I mean? Of trying to cloud the nervousness versus just trying to take a couple deep breaths and be like, "Nah, I got this, bro. This is why I'm here. This is what I woke up and said I wanted to do today. This is what I've been saying when I stay up late at night debating if I was gonna want to really be a rapper or not. Like when I get in positions like that, it's like I throw myself back in my head, like, hey, this is why this. You know what I mean?
So you have like these like a pep talk almost, like, remember where you came from, motherfucker. Like, we're here. You wanted to do this.
I'm used to, because I'm used to being my own fan. Like, because I like I said, I come, like you said earlier, and you quoted that song, and it was crazy that you did. My lyrics, dude, I don't go and like make up a facade about shit. Like, I talk my shit because people can like never call me out on it, because it's real shit. People around me know I'm about my business, you know what I mean? I get shit done. We wake up and we handle shit, you know what I mean?
Are you guys nervous for tomorrow with the show that you guys are doing here in Denver? I know, do you not get nervous anymore?
I know. EQ? It's funny that you just mentioned that you get nervous.
Yeah,
because
I still do, bro.
Don't. I mean, I used to feel like that, you know, when it was like, man, I used to shit breaks right before, man.
Building churches is what we say.
That's right.
I was building churches.
I'm gonna have to take that. I never heard that.
I was building churches, you know, and yeah, once you got the mic in your hand, you're like, it's all gone, and you just go and kill it. But no, man, over time, after doing it so much, you know, and Skilly's done it for a while too, you know, but for me at least, it's like I'll grab a mic and I'll just go on and give a show, you know.
Damn, that's dope. That's a dope
cool
place to be in.
I mean, it's just work, you know, and it's just like, you know, it's like you give me a saw and a hammer, man, I'm gonna start getting to it, you know, and that's kind of where it is. And it's like, honestly, a lot of the times I don't even think about it because I'm so busy doing other things that when it comes to it, I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to go on.
It's like another thing that I have to like do in the list, you know.
Right, almost. Exactly. Yeah. It's like another to-do list, another thing, you know, another thing I got to get done today. So
this guy at the Carmelia Fest that they hosted, when he came on, he was about to eat an elote, and he was like, "Oh, well, I guess I'll perform real quick." Exactly how he's saying, all nonchalant, which is funny now that he said it, because I just
you're over there like, "Oh fuck, man, I gotta use the restroom."
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, can somebody hold my corner?" I think you performed with it, huh? Yeah, I think nobody. Yeah,
I know how much I fucking get into it, so don't fucking get.
No, I think if I recollect correctly, nobody grabbed it. So for like the first part, he was dancing around with the elote and everything, and fucking it was part of the theatrics. So I was like, I was like, this motherfucker.
You can get more raza than that.
That's what I'm saying. You just had to respect it, dog. I'll put some respect on his name.
That's right.
Kind of to change the conversation a little bit. Do you have any spirituality that you go by, or are you religious, or what?
No, I'm not religious personally. I don't believe in like a god or nothing like that. I do believe in some sort of higher force out there, or something that directs us, or I don't know, or where their alien ant farm experiment or something. But I mean,
I'm sure over there in Idaho, have you experienced anything like that,
bro? It's
any UFOs or WAPs or whatever the fuck they call it, not wet ass pussy, but that it's something else.
No, I mean, I have, you know what I mean? Shout out my girl.
Some wet ass. I was just
shout out my lady. Pussy. Yeah, no, but
there it is.
There it is. No, yeah, dude. Well, I don't know how deep you want to get into that, because
go ahead. We have plenty of time still.
Okay, cool. Because I've dealt with actual brujeria in my life.
Okay, tell me a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
That's crazy, dude.
Give me the hot tea, or
I can give you maybe the hot notes of that. So
you don't have to. Don't feel pressure.
They're listening.
No, because
they're listening to you.
No, here's the thing. Because for the people out there that have experienced this, I used to think I would sound crazy to people, but when I talk to a few more people, I realize that this shit really do be happening. You know what I mean? Like when you're not naive to what we really live in. When this is more than just, like I said, this little bodysuit we're in or whatever.
Yeah, the skin.
You know what I mean? Because that's where you get comments like, you've ever heard people like, oh, like a old soul in a young body, like things like that, like comments like that, or you know, or people that seem more mature than their age, or you know, or just or immature people that you're just like, dog, how are you this old? And so
I thought that was just emotional abuse.
Is it?
No,
it might be. It might be.
Is it?
No. Wait, but I
really?
totally get what you mean. Like there's an essence to people sometimes, or the things that we see that we tend to think as normal, in quotations, for those that are listening. But like I said, there's things that have happened to me, and it's very serendipitous when they happen. Like, why did that happen today at this hour at this time when it was
like
unexpected
manifestation.
Right. Yeah, shit like that.
So I'm big on that. As far as just like back to the spirituality question, I want to say recently in the last couple of years I kind of tapped into it more. And mainly on that aspect of manifesting, and then to keep it a buck, bro, I listened to an audio book of the 48 Laws of Power, and for whatever reason, my brain really was like, whoa, because what like boggled my mind when I was listening to it, a lot of like the scenarios that they put in the book, like I feel like the book breaks down and like they kind of explain a certain topic, and then it's like through a scenario that they describe in the book, it kind of gives you like that incarnation of what that topic is. Like say somebody trying to be shiesty, and they give you that scenario of this guy doing this business, but he was doing all this other stuff. And you're the spectator, so you get to see the full spectrum of the story and the characters and stuff. So for me, when I read that book, or when I because I listened to an audio, and when I was listening to it, it was blowing my mind, because I was like, I felt like I had already lived a whole bunch of those scenarios in my own version of my naive brain that didn't know what was going on. But after I heard that, and it made my brain click back to, oh, remember when I did this, or I fell out with this person, and this sounds exactly like this chapter of this book right here, and this that they touched on.
It was very relatable in that sense.
Yeah, and then for me, somewhere in there when they started talking about the attraction and law of attraction, and when they touched on a little bit on that, I got really more enamored into that too, because I really got into this thing called the 369 method.
Is that where you write and say it?
I actually have
something
it tattooed on my neck, bro.
Oh, okay.
But I got it like that obsessed with the idea behind it of like we live in vibrations, we live in a higher force.
I do believe in that shit too as well.
The more vibrations. So for me, I've always had a hard time understanding the concept of depression, because I've never let a sad, somber, or whatever take over me to that point where I felt defeated enough to say, hey, or whatever the case, because I don't want to sound like
and a lot of the times we're not experts obviously, but a lot of the times even though it might not make sense to somebody, it's chemical reactions within the body, and it's it's more scientific in some aspects,
Yeah, so for me it's just like the whole that concept of like you talk to yourself, the way you talk to yourself. Like, so I really there was a part in there, I read another book, I can't remember now, but I've read some pieces of it, and a part that stuck out to me was the whole we really plant seeds within ourselves, the way we talk about ourselves, the way we think of our ideas. So if we think an idea is too outlandish, then we're already fucking up right there, because no idea should be outlandish. No idea should be so far out of this world that
it's just a fucking idea.
It's an idea, and it should leap and bound to as far as we want to push it, because that's on us to push it that way. You know what I mean? It's on us to stretch that perception, to challenge that norm, to push, to give it more or whatever. You know what I mean? So with that being said, like I really, like I said, I got into the whole manifesting thing because I started like, hey, I'm not gonna, I completely, I can't tell you the last time I say, oh, I don't know if I can do that, because I don't even talk like that anymore. I don't, the word I can't, like, I don't even, like, it's not in my vocabulary, bro. I te lo juro on en la vida de mi madrecita. I don't even think like that. I see something, and if it intimidates me to scrutinize it and figure out how I want to attack it, but not to back down from it. Like before, at a younger age, I'd be like, oh damn, whatever. But now I'm like, there's got to be a way to skin that cat, because there always is.
And there's power with words, man. I was gonna touch, not to cut you off there, man, but I was gonna actually mention, as you were talking, I was thinking about that, because I'm actually, I'm big on that, like changing your vocabulary, because I learned that also at a very young age. Is like, don't say you can't, because the more you say you can't do that, you can't do this or that, you won't.
Yeah.
Once you change,
it solidifies in your mind, no? Yeah. It solidifies more in your mind.
And it's crazy because I mean, I have small children, and one of them, my son, is he knows how to tie his shoe, but he was starting to tie his shoe, and he just kept saying, I can't. And I let him do his thing, like I let him struggle it out, right? Yeah. And I tell him, I'm like, man, I told him those same exact words, and I was like, you need to stop saying you can't tie your shoelace and say you can. And then he kept saying it, and eventually he's like, I told him, I was like, tell me you can't tie your shoelace, and he's like, I can't, and we repeated it a couple times. Yeah. And 2 tries after, he did it, and I was like, see, that's what I'm talking about, and that like shows the power of, just
your words,
your words, and the way you're thinking about things. If you say you can't do something, you won't, and that's what it is, man. It's it's all the mind. It's all, you know,
and
how
it gives
powerful the mind
you
is.
an excuse almost as well,
Right.
you know. It like kind of
It's like,
excuses
I
are
can't do
easy.
what?
Yeah.
Excuses are easy.
I can't, bro.
Yeah.
Don't you understand? I can't. I'm like,
Mhm.
well, have you even tried it?
Right.
I can't.
Yeah.
I already know I can't.
Mhm.
Just try it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It can easily put you in that mindset of either putting yourself down or depriving yourself from learning,
Right.
because a lot of the times we want to be experts right off the bat.
Well, see, and then
Right.
if you want to go deeper, I feel like people really fear failure.
Mm.
You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? Or like not being able
Double
to
F, fear failure.
Yeah,
There
you know what I mean?
There it is.
But it's like
Favorite words.
or
Favorite effort.
and if it's not that, I feel like some people, if you want to get deeper, I feel like they couldn't put up with getting scrutinized for it, so they mejor no. So it's easier to be like, aha, you know what I mean? But it's like, nah, bro, you go do it, and then get ripped up and have all kinds of criticism and
experiences.
and then still go back in there with a smile and do it again. Tell me if you can do that. I can do that. That's why I love doing music. You know what I mean? Because I don't need anybody to tell me that it's good or not. I enjoy it. It does what it does for me.
It's crazy how you can, like, if you work outside, if you work hard, you'll have calluses in your hand, calluses in your body.
Mm-hmm.
But that is very much something that is also represented through our emotions, through the way we act, through the way we carry ourselves, to be a callous person, somebody that is not necessarily soft, because there is beauty in the softness of somebody, and that should be appreciated and celebrated, but also on the fact that they can take not only criticism, but they can, like Rocky said, it's not about how many times, how many punches you deal, but how many times you can go down and then and get back up, right? Mm-hmm. Completely misquoted that shit. But anyways, you get the gist of it.
That's right.
You get the gist of it. And a lot of the times it's like that. We need those emotional calluses, you know? And I don't know, I don't want to sound like an old fart here, but a lot of the times like with these little kids, they're not dealing with it like we used to, you know? And I feel like there's a learning curve that needs to happen with everybody to be able to embrace challenges a lot better, and criticism, you know, especially coming back to the whole aspect of music.
Yeah, I always say you're not gonna learn anything in life unless you go live some. You know what I mean? So I mean, I could sit here and try to guide you in my whole life trajectory of, hey, this is how you get through life, and vice versa through various other people. But everybody lives their own version of life and does what they do. But you know, and something that might work for me might not work for you. Something that works great for you might not be a blip on my radar at all. You know what I mean? It's just different strokes for different folks, just different life. But none of us are going to ever really get a full experience of that if we don't go just do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just don't do meth, right?
Yeah, don't do meth.
Just,
you know what I mean?
Just be careful with around.
That's the only
things.
thing you shouldn't do. Don't do meth. Drink water
and
stay hydrated.
Yeah, stay hydrated.
Water's life.
Watch out for zombies.
Yeah.
Aliens are real.
Aliens are real. They finally told us. I'm trying to find. I told AQ, all I want to find is some giggle bush, bro. Like,
what is giggle bush?
Giggle bush, bro.
Like exactly what you picture it to be.
That's
oh shit.
Yeah,
like a bush that giggles, like straight up.
Well, so this right
I'm
here.
naive. Oh,
yeah. So giggle.
Sorry, I
am
a laffy plant.
Naive. A laffy plant. So no, for me, I already got it figured out, bro. The day I get to meet a real life alien, I swear, bro, I promise, te lo juro, my first question is gonna be like, "Hey, dog, what kind of weed do you guys got? Like, let me see. Can I see it? Because I know there's not a coincidence that you guys put weed here and the government has it so restrained from us, that and mushrooms and like the psychedelics that help us tap into the tap in.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, I better chill, bro. They're probably gonna be like following me on social media after this podcast.
The CIA wants to talk to you.
No, but I mean, like for me, that's kind of my idea behind it. I'm just like, like, there has to be some huge higher behind it.
I believe it.
Because why don't we have access to it? Because I feel like anybody who's a connoisseur of it really understands the beneficial, healthy aspects of it, and I really strongly feel like it just has a bad connotation from back in the day that just never got
especially in the
off.
Latino culture.
Especially in
ay, no, eso es del diablo,
bro.
You know,
man, the fights. Hey, shout out to my mom. Las peleas que me eché con mi ma.
Dude.
And bro, one day she walked in. This is funny. This is quick, bro. This is a quick story. But one day I was living at my own place. But I had given my mom an extra key. I'm a big mama's boy, so I'm like, you know what? Here's the key. If you're ever in town or you need to stay somewhere, and my dad needs to drop you off, whatever, you got my key. Well, the funniest shit was I was Mac Daddy Smooth that night, so I had company over, had no expectation, didn't get a phone call, nothing. And usually my mom's big on, hey, I'm gonna call you, nada. So I'm over there,
surprised you.
There it is,
blunts deep,
Skilly waist butt naked.
I was about to put the song on. I was in the setup. So I was in the setup. All I had was the smoky ambiance with like 2 blunts deep. Yeah. The chick had like a couple glasses of wine. I was in a couple glasses of wine too. And all of a sudden, my mom just opens the door. And the house that I was staying at the moment was like one of those trailer homes that had like the kitchen. As soon as you walk in, you could see the kitchen. And I mean, bro, it was
she got high, like just
no, bro. Like I swear, I felt like I saw her soul leave her body from how like, oh my god, the face she made. Like
my kid is a grown up.
Yeah, ay Dios mío. And she's like,
he's fucking
started fucking like hyperventilating, and I'm sitting there like, and then the homegirl looks at me, she's like, who's this lady? And I'm like, that's my mom. And I was like, this is real awkward right now. I was like, and she goes, this is the funny. Well, shout out to the homegirl because she was a more mature woman than me at the moment. Yeah. So she was like, she's like, you know what? It's real awkward. I might hit you up tomorrow, but have a good night. Just walked away, nothing. Didn't make it awkward, whatever.
Honestly, bless her.
Right. So honestly, salute to the homegirl. Shout out to her. But the funny part was I had the aftermath of my mom hyperventilating because she was like,
you still had something to deal with.
And she's like, how do you have all this smoke in your house? Y te vas a ahogar and blah blah blah. Y van a llegar la policía.
That's the point, Mom. I'm trying to get fucking.
And she's like, nunca se va a salir el olor. Y a poco esto es lo que haces todos los días después del trabajo.
Just started ripping.
Bro, and I'm sitting there like.
High as fuck.
No, here's the messed up part, bro. At the moment, I wasn't smoking a whole lot. So when I did smoke, it was like an after work thing for me. So it was real like, and I was really like stone. So it was fucked up because
you were
that
knocking
whole time,
on Jesus' window.
Like, what'd you say?
I was higher than giraffe pussy, dog.
Yeah.
I was like on another level, bro. I was like, call me Snarf, bro. I was out there, dog. Yeah, I was up there. No, so then, I like the messed up part is as she was me estaba regañando, I felt my high coming down in sections, like stuff sounded more coherent.
She said some.
Yeah, and then it was more
like a Charlie Brown cartoon.
Bro, yes.
And then,
and by the end of it, I was just sitting there like all out, like, damn, I don't even want to smoke no more, dude. And I like literally like, fuck, like just wanted to throw my joint or whatever, right? And then she was like, you know, she's like, I can't believe you're doing this. And I was like, and the whole time I was like, Mom, I'm a grown ass adult. It's my house. Yeah. Like, I didn't even invite you here. If we're gonna be like logical and reasonable about it, you're in my space. You're in baby.
Is that how it is?
Yeah.
Is that how it is nowadays?
That's exactly what it turned into. So shout out my mom, bless her heart. But man,
shout out to all moms.
Yeah.
All Hispanic moms that have to deal with high boys like that.
Yeah, there you go. Right. And shout out to you guys for soldiering out. Because the funny thing is the day that I told her I was like, hey mom, I was like, I'm gonna go figure out how I can be an iconic rapper and grow my own plants and flowers. And I'm gonna name a strain after you. So it was funny because I haven't made it happen yet, but the day I do, I'm gonna come bring her. I told her that I jokingly tell her that I'm gonna come bring her, like, I don't know, it's coming a rolling paper or a packaging of some sort, but I'm gonna call it like Doña Leti's or something, and I'm gonna come bring it to her and be like, this is you right here.
DLs. Get the DLs of Doña Leti's.
Yeah. And then the cool part is, but I got a game plan to this whole thing to make it all sweet. I'm going to somehow figure it out to set it up as a business company that I could pass off to her. So then I'm going to be like, look, tanto que me regañaste for this, but here you go. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You have the green thumb, so might as well pass it on.
And here's the part that trips me out. Growing up, when I was a kid, she used to have plants because she had a really good green thumb. She had a plant that was in our house that circled around like 15, 20 times.
Like a vine or something like that?
You know the ones that would vine and drape?
Yeah.
And she would take so much care of that thing, bro. Right. So the one day that I told her, I was like, hey, no sé por qué te agüitas. I was like, cause tanto que tú saliste buena para las plantas. I was like, I just got good at smoking them. I was like, that's just, you know what I mean?
I still like cooperating with the plants.
It's still botany. It's still, you know what I mean? It's still botanist.
Actually, that brings us to a good circle to kind of start wrapping things up with your merch.
Yeah,
I see that you have a panda. What inspired that? It's really cool. I just want to know a little bit more about your merch, and I know that you had mentioned weed and having your own strand even.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
So my brand is Only Vibes, and I kind of started that back in like 2017. It's kind of just something I just been running with, and like a simple explanation to it is like, who doesn't enjoy being in a good atmosphere and good ambient,
right,
and a good headspace? Only Vibes, you know what I mean? Like, why would you not want to be outside of that? You know, like my mom said, te cuesta doble contentarte when you're you know in a bad mood or whatever. You got to go do double the work, get not mad, and then get happy again. You know, so for the most part, it's just that, and then just like I said, that headspace of just positive and good energy and just like wanting more out of life. You know what I mean? Just like you know expanding and growing and flourishing, growth, like you know all that good stuff. The panda part to me is an incorporation,
because I've seen that in a couple artworks on your music as well, the panda. So that's why I was asking.
Yeah, so the reason I stuck to that, because to me it's like, since it's like an extinct animal in general, to me I pan it back to the ideology of like the hard worker is just an extinct mentality as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because like I said, back to the microwave talk, everybody's in this age of a mentality of instant gratification, and you want everything overnight.
You see it less is what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
like,
so,
you see it less.
So for me telling you, hey, I'm willing to grind out the 10 years for the big payout, versus the guy that says, hey, I want the big payout in the 10 months, whatever increment that might be for him.
And then sold my soul to the devil or whatever.
Exactly. And then give no shit for what's going to happen the next 10 years to him. But for me, that's like, yeah, I'd rather play the long game. And let me get to that, because when I get there, I know that I built every brick there. Like Nipsey said, you lay a brick every day. By the time you look up, you got a whole paved wall or structure or whatever, but it's solid.
Or church.
Church. Yeah, building churches. You know what I mean? But yeah, the panda to me, like I said, it just represents the rarity of a hard-working mentality. Yeah, and then the black and white thing too for me goes into the explanation as well, because I'm a real black and white person. Like, I'm just like, if I fuck with you, I do. If I don't, I'm not gonna give you the extra. Okay. You know what I mean? I like to think I'm pretty blunt, and I'm not gonna darte cuerda. Like, if because I feel like the world already gives you enough of that. You know what I mean? So if you can be the one,
that's a good observation actually.
The world's already gray. So if you could be the one clear cut, like it's either black or white when you come sit at my table, I feel like the real people can appreciate that, because you don't got to do all the extra bullshit, because we already know that a lot of the times interactions come with a lot of extras. You know what I mean? When you get to meet those people, they're like, hey bro, trust me, I know the whole jazz to it. So here, let's just get right here. What are we gonna talk about? You know what I mean? You can skip all that, and you can, you know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, like I said, I just feel that, like, and I feel like the people that work, because I resonate, like I said, back to a little bit too with that topic about the music. A lot of the people that fuck with me, they're usually people who are like entrepreneurs, people who are bosses at their jobs, people who are managers, people who are, hey man, I'm not happy with my current position. I need to level up next month. Like, I like people like that.
They have some sort of ambition behind them.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then for me, it's cool. You know what I mean? It also takes me back to the times of like when like labels had like little mascot cartoons and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And then for me,
Kanye had like a bear at some point.
There you go. That's exactly where I was gonna go next. Like when Kanye did his anime bear that he would push on the graduation and stuff. Because I was always into graffiti and stuff. So to me, it was cool. It was kind of like a clash of like graffiti, like anime, rough, hip hop, art. Like, it was a cool combination of everything.
Yeah. I mean, look at this fucking wall.
Yeah, you know what I mean? See, you got it here too. You know what I mean? The other example was like Pharrell Williams when he was doing the ice cream and like Billionaire Boys Club and stuff like that. Like, just that bright and color and flamboyant and like in your face, you know what I mean? Like, it was cool to me. But what I really liked is all their characters and designs that they would put out. It was never like a merch, and it was never sold like a merch. It was like, hey, this is streetwear. This is this right here. This is, like I said, this is all me, but this is something you can go throw on in a fit and go step out. And it don't look like, oh, yeah, I just bought some tour merch or some band's merch. No, bro, this is some drip. Like, you got some fly kicks, you got something that matches, throw it on. You got a purse that matches, because I've seen homegirls drip out my shit too, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, big splash, you know what I mean? All over the place. So it's like, so that to me is cool. And it's a little too, not to spawn off too much, but it's a little advice tidbit that I want to give anybody out there that's an artist. Stop making merch that you like. Make merch that people want to buy. If that makes any sense, and I feel like that's going to make sense to who it's going to make sense to.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I can't tell you how many times I've seen a shirt with somebody's face on it, and I'm like, bro, I would not buy that with your ugly mug on it, bro.
Straight up, somebody's face.
I'm sorry, fam.
Like, it's me.
Yeah, that's feo, it's me. That's feo. I'm not buying that, dog. Like, I'm not.
You're not Enrique Iglesias.
Yeah. No, you know what trips me out too? I've always thought too, like, how could you be a dude like really feeling like real cool with like 20 guys with your face with
right
like, you know what I mean? It's like that's just odd activity to me.
There's something,
you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just, you know what I mean, maybe something cute and cool or whatever on like 20 females, you know what I mean? Yeah, there you go. And I hear that all the time too, and then in my head I'm like, that's feel like, what are you doing? Like,
it just doesn't click.
I don't even want to buy, like, it's not even cool half the time. It's just like some simple stuff. So anyways, I say all that to say, spend a little bit of money on your product, get your quality up, and your investment's going to come back, trust me. And then learn how to fucking sell it too. Talk to people the right way. And you can, you know what I mean? You can sell salt to a slug if you know how to do it right. You know what I mean? So
I like that.
You feel me? But waddle in the water, you're going to make it do what it do. But if not, then, you know what I mean? I'm just talking thin air to people who aren't paying attention, but you know what I mean?
Amen. So with that, we're just going to pass to this last section that we have here at the podcast called What's Your Bob? And this week, obviously, my falsettos are terrible. You don't have to... we don't have to get into that.
I got some auto-tune for that.
But
right.
Fix me up.
I could fix that.
Fix me up. Fix me up. So basically the dynamic is we choose a song for the week. We post it in our YOLKING Around playlist. And then, so people can go listen to it, tap in. It's usually on Spotify. And the one that I have is your guys' latest collaboration song, which
cool.
was it? It is a collaboration, correct?
The Cypher?
The Cypher, maybe?
Yeah, the Moonwalking.
Oh, okay, that's Skilly
That's
Waves.
just my
Okay.
official debut single with La Familia Music Group.
Okay,
That's
there you
what
go.
it
That's
is.
what
Yeah.
I got it twisted. But yeah, it's going to be Moonwalking. So go check it out, guys. It's on Spotify. It's hot.
Run me up on TikTok.
How does it go?
Yeah, TikTok.
Sliding out the
How
booth,
does it
moonwalking. Pull song when I'm talking.
Hey.
Boost that song when I'm talking. That's what it is. Boost that song.
Yeah.
I really
Boost that
like that
song.
fucking bar.
You know what
dude.
I want to do so bad? Here's peep my vision real quick. I want to, the next place I perform. I'm gonna try it tomorrow. I'm gonna try it. And if I can get enough people to
Butt
do it.
naked or something?
No. So what I want to do is I just so I wrote that with intentions to perform
That's a
it.
good idea.
Because I was like, this is a really simple hook.
Pull
And I
out
was
your
like,
chile, you know?
chill, man, chill. It's too much chile, bro. So what I want to do is like, because it's really simple. I want to like teach it to the crowd. So, and since it comes off with the hook right off the bat, they'd get that right off the bat, and we get it. I'll do my verse, and then when it comes in for the second hook, what I want to do in my head be like a concert maestro, and just be like, okay, you guys on this half know this part of the hook, you guys on this half know this part, and then because I've seen I want to say it was like a Cypress Hill old concert video, but the way that Be Real had him and Sendog, the way they had the crowd split and they were doing that you want to be a rap superstar and live big cars, but they had the crowd split just like that, half and half. And then to me I was like, dude, that's so dope. But anyways, it flashed back and I was like, if I could pull that off, because it's really easy, sliding out the booth, moonwalking, on when I'm talking. So if I could dictate or orchestrate the people to do that, like that's the vision I have right now. But yeah, go check it out. It's on all platforms. Anything you can listen to music on. I would appreciate if somebody runs it up on TikTok. If anybody out there is a dancer or has a dance crew,
there you go.
Tap in with me. I would love to, I don't know, compensate you for your time maybe, or we could do some business exchange. But I want to see some kind of dance challenge pop off, because I really, like I said, I wrote it with intentions of people to get active to it. Like I really, I've never campaigned a song to try to do something like that, but I really think that it's got potential for it. Probably this next month still. Like I'm gonna be dropping new music, but I am gonna put a little hyper focus on trying to push that on that platform specifically, to see if we can maybe get a little ripple going or something.
There you go. Go listen to Moonwalking. And EQ, any song that you would like to add to the playlist this week?
EQ, man, any song that I'd like to add to the playlist. Man, I thought you were only gonna ask Skilly.
I got one.
Put
Mine's
me on the
quick.
spot.
Go add the Ratchet Pack. Shout out my boy AC Delgado. We got
Ratchet
a song
Pack,
called "Work
Ratchet
Like Me."
Pack.
We did
that song's fire.
yeah. He did
I was
he did
actually listening to it before you guys came.
He did a Jersey step type beat is what that is. So yeah, go shout out my boy, bro. If anybody needs the sauce, he's got the sauce for the beat. So AC Delgado, the Ratchet Pack.
Where can they find him?
Spotify, anything. Spotify, Instagram, kind of like me, same thing. Just look up AC Delgado and only do that pops up. And usually, if he pops up, I pop up. If I pop up, he pops up. So we got a cool little ping pong effect out there. I don't know, the only other person out there in Idaho working like me. So you know what I mean. Shout out my boy.
There it is.
We outside.
We outside.
If anybody feels indifferent about that, I'm sorry. It is what it is.
No.
You know what I mean?
You can say that about yourself. You've proven it through hard work. So I respect that. EQ, back to
I'm
you.
gonna have to put in Shiloh on real quick, man.
Go.
Shout
Put
out
him
to
on.
Shiloh,
Put
man.
it-
Yeah. Shout out the boy, man.
What's up in Shiloh?
Yeah, the song that came to mind was Rose Colored Lenses.
Rose Colored Lenses is a great
Great
song.
song, man.
Yeah.
So
Song
go check
by-
it out
by
by
Shiloh.
Shiloh. the GOAT.
Peep his catalog.
Oh,
Period,
he's
man.
got
he got some hitters on there.
He's got some music coming too next year, so stay tuned. For
Amen.
Oh, and then him and Miggy got that same difference.
Yeah,
Yep.
same difference.
Shout
same
out the
difference.
homies.
The most recent.
Yeah, go check.
Is
check
he gonna
him
be
out.
performing tomorrow?
Yeah,
or is it just gonna be you two? Who's out performing from La Familia?
So we're all actually gonna be there tomorrow.
Okay.
In Shiloh, Skilly Waves, Miggy C, and myself will be there.
Dope.
Yeah,
dope.
it's gonna be dope. And we actually got Lafayette Music Festival.
Oh yeah,
next
I wanted
week.
to tap on to
Yeah, that's gonna be super fun, man. I'm super excited for that. It's been something we've had locked in for a while now. And
Nice.
it's cool, man, that they invited us, which is like to this
Credit
music festival, and
where
that's
it's
like
due,
it's a good feeling, that people outside, are reaching out to have you on, and it's just cool, man. It's shows that the work is being appreciated.
Amen.
That's the one on the 7th.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So and then I'll be in Idaho in Caldwell at the Rapper Harvest. So
Okay.
they'll be holding down home team out here in Colorado, and then I'll
That's
be back in home base over there for me. So I'll be back in Idaho. So we'll both be working.
We'll be working.
La Familia is
Man,
gonna be
you're
working.
driving, or are you
Oh,
flying?
I commute here every time I've came up here, bro. This is all just because I want to be out here. I want to pursue what I'm getting into out here. So this is back to puras ganas that's bringing me over here.
Shows the
Yeah.
dedication too.
Yeah,
man. You know what I
dedication
mean?
more than anything, man.
Yeah.
Because everybody can say, "No, I'm gonna work hard," but it's the dedication.
Yeah.
Dedication is
There's a lot of good
and
talkers.
discipline.
Yeah, there's a lot
and
of good
discipline.
talkers. You know what I mean?
Oh man, Shots being fired.
Walkers, very few that I've met, but the people I've met, we get it shaken. You know what I mean? So it works out. You meet the right people when you. I feel like in your stroll of life, you kind of meet people on your same path, and if it works, it works. If not, you kind of just pass and meet people, and it is what it is. You keep. You know what I mean? That's life.
And can they can find you on any platform as Skilly Waves?
Yes, you can find me on any platform. You can even Google my ass, and I'm the only person that pops up.
You can
Skilly
even
Waves.
Google my ass.
Yeah.
Isn't that like a Nicki Minaj song or something?
Oh, really?
Is it probably?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I finally got that light flex.
Or my asshole? One of those two.
Whoa.
right?
Oh no! See, I don't got nothing like that yet. But the day I
That's what
decided to
you
do a
think.
OnlyFans,
That's what
bro,
you think.
so I want to get an OnlyFans, but it's like I could only imagine how
Is
pissed off.
this is new release?
Coming
This
soon.
is new
Coming
release.
soon.
You get exclusive.
We waited till
exclusive.
the
I'm
end.
not aware of this. You know,
We're
just
waiting
letting
for the
y'all know.
spicy takes. So here's the funny part. I was like, I'm gonna get all these people riled up to
Oh,
curiosity.
they'll be riled up.
Right?
Yeah.
But I was like, imagine la pinche rabia that somebody would have just to open up a video of me rolling up some weed and then have a big old thing that pops up and says, "Welcome to my OnlyGrams page."
Oh,
And it's me just
shit.
rolling weed and criticizing weed that I smoke and just having my own little
That could
debate
be a
all week.
niche,
I'd
honestly.
be pissed, bro.
Yeah.
But check this out. Check this
You're
out.
like, you have your cock on
look,
your hand.
look,
or something?
he's
I'm over your
no,
cock
look.
holding.
He's making it work for me. Watch. So he's gonna be the exact target that I want to hit, because there's gonna be all that influx of people that wanted to see por pinches chismosos.
Yeah.
Y metiches.
Exactly.
But I'm already up. See, I'm probably already watering the
You
idea.
should hype it up. Say, hey, I'm just gonna
Coming
show
soon.
butt cheeks.
But
Yeah.
check this out. The funny thing is, I
Coming
probably
soon.
yeah.
On Instagram, the sneak peeks.
C-U-M.
All puns intended.
Yeah, all puns intended.
Yeah, so what I want to do is do that, and then just like I said, so all those people that are not going to come back to resubscribe for my next month, the funny part is, though, I know for a fact somebody's going to watch that video and be like, damn, this motherfucker was funny as hell for that.
That's
I wonder what he's
okay.
going to put out next week.
That's
Okay.
right.
Throw the net.
Check out the new skill I learned this week.
Yeah, and it'd be making a sandwich or some shit, bro. Or like I
Hey,
learned
man,
how
we
to
can
like
get real creative with
Yeah.
this.
Or fucking a sandwich, surprise him. It's like, motherfucker, you
Yeah.
thought you weren't gonna see no
Oh,
dicks.
Patreon.
Yeah,
Then we can go
there you
Patreon with
Yeah.
that. Come on, dog. It's levels to this shit, bro. Come on, bro. Levels.
Coming soon. Stay tuned. Go follow Skilly Waves on all platforms.
On all platforms. Coming to OnlyFans, OnlyPans, and OnlyGrams.
And then EQ, La Familia Music Group. You can find them on Instagram.
Yeah, just go to the website, lafamiliamusicgroup.com. You'll find everything there.
Thank you guys for tuning in today. Remember to stay weird and have a good time. Thank you, Skilly Wave. Thank
Appreciate
you,
the
EQ,
invite.
for joining us.
Thank you, man.
Have a blessed day. Bye.
Peace.